Good morning, guys. Kansas Garden Guys, Summer Pick Farms. It's Tracy here. How are you guys doing today? Well, as you can see, I'm in the high tunnel today. And guess what? I'm making a video. I know. Like I said in my last couple videos, not a whole lot going on here at the farm right now. We're in that weird transition of summer to fall. I'll walk you guys through the tunnel here. As you can see, we're missing some tomatoes up there. I went ahead and pulled some tomatoes out that were not producing as well, so that way I could make space to get my fall harvest in here. But these tomatoes are still rocking it on. These here I'm probably going to end up pulling out. As you can see, I've had some worm damage. You can see there is all of our arch nemesis is right there. So I'll go ahead and get rid of this guy here. I won't show you what's going on with him, but I will go ahead and just, you know what? I've killed thousands of these things this year, it seems like, so literally probably like 50. So I am just going to go ahead and throw him in the grass and just let him go. I'm in that kind of a mood today. I'm not in a killing kind of mood today, so I'm just going to let him live another day. I'll fight him another day. But no, we still are getting tomatoes out here, so I'm probably going to rip this whole row out here because it's not really producing that well. Yes, you can see there still is tomatoes on the vine here, and we do have some of them that are starting to produce, some of them that are starting to turn. Out here also, we've got tomatoes. I need to get out here. I used to get out here like 3 times a week and 3 times a week and pull these tomatoes. As you can see, there's a big dude right in there. He's hanging out. I may pull him out just to show you guys. Those are Bella Roses. I have not pulled all the Bella Roses out. But I'll tell you what. Look at that tomato, guys. Look at that tomato. That tomato's freaking awesome. Where was that other one? Here it was, right here. There we go. There's another bad boy right there. Look at that. That's about a pound right there, maybe a little over. That's pretty phenomenal. You can see there's the side of my foot. I wear a size almost 12. So there you go right there. But they're still producing, so I'm still letting these guys drag on a little bit, seeing if we can get this most production out of here. But I have pulled all the tomatoes out of here. So I'm going to leave this under cover right now. We're still breaking 95 to 100 degree days here. I do have lettuce. I started in seed trays already the last 2 weeks. As you can see, I've got my Tehama and my Cherokee lettuce started in seed trays. So I think I started 500 head. Not a whole lot. And this is a new mix here from Johnny's. It's got All-Star in it, and I think it's got Star Jetter in it, and some other mixes. I'm going to try it, see what it looks like, and I think over there all I've got is some Lacinato kale over there. So I'm going to give kale one more try again this year. We didn't sell any of it last year. Nobody would buy it. So I'm going to try again one more time going into winter if we can have kale to put on the table. We'll see what happens with that. But then also when I rip these BHN 589s out, like I said, we're at this weird time of year where you want to rip stuff out because you got to get your fall stuff in. But how do you rip stuff out when you still got 12, 15, 16 ounce tomatoes still on the vine growing? Still haven't even turned red yet. I mean, you can see them all down here. It's hard for me to want to rip these things out of the ground when I'm still getting, you know, 25 pounds, 30 pounds a week off these tomatoes right now. And that's just the ones I'm picking every other day. There obviously is more than that in here, but I'm picking them when they start to turn. Well, as you can see, I was picking them when they were starting to blush, but now I'm kind of letting them sit because I've got, you know, like 50, 60 pounds sitting in my wash pack station room back there for tomorrow's market. So I don't know. We've been making a lot of salsa. We've been making a lot of stewed tomatoes for canning. We've put a bunch up for freezing. I'm about tomatoed out this year. Man, holy cow, there's a couple big ones in there too. You can sit here all day and just point at tomatoes. But I pump them full of Agri-Thrive. You guys know that, once a week. Today, that's what I'm doing over here, is I'm running it through my drip system, and it feeds all my lines here. I water my tomatoes twice a week, whether it needs it or not. Water them on Tuesdays and water them on Thursdays usually. I missed it yesterday. I forgot what day it was. So today's Friday, so I'm watering them today. But so that's what's going on in the high tunnel. Like I said, we're at this weird, that's why it kind of looks kind of trashy in here, because I've been ripping stuff out of here. But the peppers have been looking phenomenal. As you guys can remember, I've got some here to pick out of here too. As you can see, some habaneros. I've got my garden salsa, which garden salsa, if you guys have never tried your garden salsa peppers, I love garden salsa over jalapenos any day of the week. They are phenomenal, and they are hotter than a jalapeno. They've got a really good taste to them. But as you can see, we're getting, these were late to the party. Ooh, Trinidad. Nope, those are Carolina Reapers. There's my Carolina Reapers right there. I think I've got, yeah, see, Carolina Reaper. These are Trinidad Scorpions, if I believe so. And then there's some more West Indies habanero. Same here, and some chocolate habaneros. You can see the chocolate habaneros there. That's a Trinidad Scorpion. That, I have no idea what it is. It doesn't have any fruit on it yet, but it should be coming along here pretty soon. Oh, that's got worms in it. Look at that army worm in there. Can you see that army worm in there? I didn't think they would eat peppers, but apparently he's loving the heat. I think that's a Tombstone Ghost Peppers. I don't know. I lost the tags, so I can't tell what's what yet. But like I said, guys, that's what's going on down here. So I've got to remember to set the timer for that for 3 hours to feed these tomatoes. Hopefully these things will be out of the high tunnel by the second week of September. I'm for sure got to rip some of this out, because I've got to get lettuce and all my cold stuff in the ground. But let's take a walk through the other gardens, and I'll show you what's going on. All right, guys, as you can see, this is a nightmare. Yeah, there's not much going on in here, and there's a reason why. I have not done any weeding in here since I made a decision. We're not going to use this no more. No more. I'm done market gardening in the front yard. I know that sounds weird that I would put that much money into my soil and into high tunnel here and water and everything else, and then just use it 1 year, and then the next year be like, you know what, I just don't want to do it no more. Well, it's not that I just don't want to do it no more. I've got a different plan. I've had some things come up in the last 2 weeks. I've had a couple dreams that I've had, and I've been doing some talking with some of my good friends, a couple good friends, and we've kind of come up to a conclusion of where I want to take this farm this year. I was happy with all the customers we had last year, or I say last year, but this previous year here. But I just wasn't where I wanted to be. I've had to turn customers down for big orders because I just didn't have the means to provide for some of these customers what they were wanting out of me. And so, you know, there's this always thing where you never want to turn anybody down. You always want to say yes and then figure it out. Well, if I would have said yes, I would have never figured it out. It's just too big. So this year I decided that we are not going to be using that down there anymore. It's just not, as a home for a personal use, it's great. It's a little more than we need for a personal use, but it works pretty awesome. But I think we're going to go a different route. We are going to put 2 100-foot by 20 high tunnels in here this fall, this October. October 1st. Hopefully I have a guest coming from out of town. We're going to do some videos, and we're going to put a couple high tunnels up. So this space is big enough. As you know, I do have my water trenched in from the house there. These 2 poles here represent my 65-foot high tunnel if I moved it up here. This 2 poles here, and you see these 2 poles back here, represent a 100-footer. As of right now, I'm gonna try to be able to purchase 2 100-foot, 20 by 100-foot high tunnels to put here this year. If I can only get one done, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get one of the new all metal kits to put up, so that way we can make a video on the all metal kits. And all that means is it's not a DIY high tunnel kit. It's a complete kit, comes on a pallet already pre-bent. All the metal pieces are there. It's 100% metal sidewall or hip boards, base boards, everything. You just read the instructions, put A into B, screw D into C, and boom, you got a high tunnel. If I can't work that and get that paid for, then I'm going to turn around and just buy 2 DIY kits, just like the ones I built there. And then I'll go get all the poles here locally, and then I'll bend them this fall. But the goal is to get this out of here. Now, you can see I've been working with the rototiller. I've got some dips and valleys in here where some water drainage is. So as you can see, all this area is rototilled also. And this is going to be my staging area. The front of the tunnel is going to be actually right there. And then when we add the other 100-footer, it's going to come to about where that till line is. So all this here is going to be able to walk in from here, and I want all this to be wood chips. So we can walk in, and I will have compost piles built here, mulch, leaves, everything will be at my ready, and then the front doors will actually be right here. And so we're going to walk in from between here and then go into the high tunnels, and then the back doors will be in the back there towards the road. You don't need to go in there anyway. But we got to rent a Bobcat. We've got a Bobcat coming, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So we rented the biggest Bobcat they make, so we can move some land. As you can see, I've got some, if I put you down here, you can see there's a little ditch right here where the water runs off this terrace and then flows this way into another terrace. So we're going to get rid of all that, level everything out, and then we're going to dig ditches on both sides of where the high tunnels are going to be to redirect the water out this way to land in this. There's a terrace right here. You really can't see it because of the grass, but there is naturally a terrace right here that fills up right here when it gets super, when we get a lot of rain. So what we're going to do is we're just going to dig a ditch between those 2 poles, represent the 2 back. We're going to dig a ditch down the center that comes out here. We're going to dig one the whole length of that and the whole length of that. So when it rains, all that water will run down into this terrace here, and then it will sink. It will absorb into the ground from there. Outside, see, this is where, when I was a kid, my dad had the county guy. We were friends with the county guy that had the grader, and he brought it over here one day and dug this ditch to drain this water out of. Well, they dug this ditch higher than this. So this fills up with water like a little pond, and the water does not drain because that over there is higher than this over here, which is kind of ignoramus, but that's what they did. So we're going to hopefully get the Bobcat in here and scrape this again so that way it gets drainage out. So that way it'll drain this side of the high tunnel. Those are all drained over. You can see the lay of the land better. It'll drain over to this area here, flatten this up here. So we have one continuous walkway, probably put an archway here, walking in with wood chips, and then I'm going to fence this off back here, and this is where we're going to put maybe a couple goats. We talked about maybe putting a calf in there, and then fencing, because I got 3.5 acres down here that we don't use at all, and then fencing some stuff off, maybe putting a couple calves in there, or a couple cows, or calf and cow, or something like that. Maybe raising our own beef, and I know we're going to do meat birds and laying birds next year, so I've got to have a spot laid out somewhere up here where I can put a chicken run, a chicken coop, anything like that. I mean, I could actually do it right here too. This is just some of my side yard. I could actually put a chicken run and chicken coop here. It's just pretty much open to the predators, and I hate to be that way. I was thinking if for some reason we can get this leveled off and this doesn't hold water with these 2 junk Chinese elm trees here, I can do a run right here next to the high tunnel, and then if any vegetables or anything like that I have from the high tunnel, I can just throw them in the chicken pen. They've got shade, and they've got a natural place to run out here, and that way the shade will kind of protect them from predators, and also throw a goose in there or something like that too. But yeah, So like I said, the reason why I thought of this was because my water's right here. So I was thinking 100-foot high tunnel, that's a long ways to drag a hose. And if I put the water in front of the high tunnel, I've got to drag a 100-foot hose all the way back if I have to water that way. I do drip irrigation. Everything in these tunnels are going to be, like I told you, I'm growing everything under tunnels this year, or this coming up year. I'm not going to grow anything out of tunnels. The only thing I'll grow out of tunnels is maybe cucumbers. Other than that, even cherry tomatoes, everything's going under cover. I don't want to grow cucumbers in the tunnel and worry about trellising up to the top. I don't want to mess with that. I could just have a patch back here to put a couple rows of cucumbers and be done with that. But if I go 50 foot this way and 50 foot this way, this puts the water dead center of that 100-foot high tunnel. All row covers are either 50 foot long or 100 foot long. That's how everything works in a market garden. It's based off of a 30-inch wide bed, 50-foot bed, or 100-foot bed. So if I put this water in the center, put a 2-foot walking gap between all the beds, I can have a 48-foot bed on this side, 48-foot bed on this side, have my water dead center. I could run it down, run all my drip irrigation headers, and then run my drip lines out that way. And then just dig another trench to this other tunnel and do the exact same thing. So that way I've got everything laid down where I need it to be. I could walk in. This will actually be inside my tunnel. I don't have it set up that way right now, but I'm going to move this down to about here. And this will be in my walkway between the two beds. So I'll be able to build my systems and then just run my drip tape down 48 feet. I think that's going to be the best way it works. Plus, if I need to run a hose, I could also run a hose off of this and then put some stakes in the ground for it to run, and I can run a hose wherever I need it to be. Excuse me, my allergies have been acting up the last 3 days. It's that time of year again where my allergies are starting to get up, so I'm starting to get a lot of drainage and some sinus pressure. So excuse me if you hear me clear my throat, it's just my allergies. But I think that's where I'm going to end the video, guys. Just giving you a lay of what's happening here on the farm. I'm pretty excited. I've been talking to people back and off and on all week long about this going on. So hopefully we can get this dirt work done next weekend. We've got the Bobcat rented for 8 hours. So they're dropping it off on a Friday morning. They're picking it up Monday morning. So we've got 8 hours of run time. So I think that's more than enough time to sit out here, play around, maybe do some other side chores that we need to get done and get this dirt leveled off. Because it's not a lot to level. We just got to kind of scrape and push. But yeah, high tunnels. I know. You know, we're going to keep the high tunnel that's in the front yard right now. We're going to keep it there this winter so I can grow our winter crops through there, and then put the other ones up top. And then I'm going to either cover crop them with some buckwheat or sorghum Sudan grass or something that will stay hardy. And then I'm going to tarp it and let it sit all winter long and not build my beds. And then next spring, I'm going to build the beds up there, and we're going to start getting lettuces put in one tunnel. And then we're going to start with our tomatoes in the second tunnel. And then this tunnel here, when I pull the lettuces out, we will be done with this tunnel. We will dismantle this one. We'll move it up there. And yeah, hopefully we'll have 3 100-foot tunnels up there. That's the goal anyway, guys. But anyway, guys, as always, if you like our channel, give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so very much. We do appreciate you. I appreciate you. But as always, guys, be safe, be kind to each other. God bless, and I'll talk to you later.